Right, so Makotakara has gotten a hold of iPhone 14 models, and so let's see the differences between the 14 and 13 series. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so Makotakara is a pretty credible source, but especially when it comes to models like this, they have been highly accurate in the past, and so yes, I do think this is all legit. Right, so beginning with the regular iPhone 14, I know many reports have suggested this is going to be very similar to the iPhone 13, but the dimensions of the device and these models does suggest otherwise. So first of all, Makotakara could not get the iPhone 13 case to fit on the model of the iPhone 14, so that does suggest the dimensions are slightly larger with this device. But also comparing the camera bumps, there is a pretty major increase, both in how it sticks out, but also with how much space it takes up on the back. And so yeah, that does heavily suggest we're gonna see camera upgrades even with the regular 14, because every report has been saying the Pros are gonna get all the major camera upgrades, but these models do suggest that's not gonna be the case. So does that mean we're going to see the mighty 48 megapixel main sensor with the iPhone 14? No, I don't think that's going to be the case. What I think is going to happen is Apple gives us the 13 Pro sensors with the regular 14. So I believe that's a wider aperture for the wide, and also the much better ultra wide that has macro abilities. And yeah, we saw this happen with the iPhone 13s. They got sensor shift stabilization from the 12 Pro Max, and so I do think there's a strong chance that could be the case again with the 14s. Now coming to the 14 Pro real quick, it's the same case here where of course the dimensions of the device are slightly larger. Now I forgot to mention this, but this could mean the displays could be slightly bigger on the 6.1 inch iPhones, especially since the Pro models are getting thinner bezels. And by the way, the models of the 14 Pro are rounder because Apple's making the radius match with the camera bump on the back. Anyways, moving to the Max models, let's begin with the 14 Max. This is near identical to the 13 Pro Max in terms of the dimensions, and so that means it's a pretty snug fit with 13 Pro Max cases. Really, the big difference with the Max is going to be the camera bump, since while it's increasing with the regular models, obviously it's still going to be a lot smaller than the Pro models' camera bumps, and so yeah, we can see that in these images. Now interestingly, with the 14 Pro Max, this for the most part does fit in the 13 Pro Max case, and this is kind of surprising because I was assuming the 14 Pro Max was going to get taller to accommodate the new pill ship cutout. Since do remember, this pill ship cutout is going to eat further into your content, and so Apple needs to make it taller to, of course, get more real estate back. So yes, a little confused about that, but anyways, this is not a perfect fit. Obviously, much like the other iPhone 14 models, the camera bump is the major difference with the 14 Pro Max and prevents the 13 Pro Max case to be a perfect fit. But yes, for the most part, the Max models are going to be very similar to the 13 Pro Max, but the regular 6.1 inch size is going to see a slight increase. And by the way, with the front of these models, Makotakara was not able to get details regarding the front camera and sensors on the Pro models, but of course, we know through many other sources, we're going to see a dual hole puncher layout on the front. Now, front panels for the iPhone 14 models also leaked, and they basically show the pill-shaped cutouts, but also you can see the thinner bezels on the Pros, and interestingly, there's a change in the aspect ratio with the Pros. They're going from 19.5 to 9 to 20 by 9, and that does actually suggest the devices are getting taller, so it's a little odd. Makotakara's report does not suggest that. Anyways, we have other details regarding the 14 series from a Weibo source. Number one, they say the physical SIM card slot might actually be going with the 14 series. This was initially rumored, but then we thought that no, this can't be the case. Clearly the market's not ready, but maybe Apple's gonna force us to move on and adopt eSIMs. Now still, I do find this hard to believe. Personally, in the UK, not all carriers support eSIMs, and so some may not be able to use iPhones with mobile data initially, which of course is gonna piss many off. And so I do think, much like millimeter wave, this could be exclusive in the US at first, since as far as I know, eSIMs are already widely available in the US. And then of course, once eSIMs are available globally, they can roll out the lack of a SIM card slot to other markets. Anyways, this source also says we could see titanium with the 14 Pros. This again was another early report, but this was when we thought the 14 was gonna get a major iPhone 4 inspired redesign, but as soon as we found out that's not gonna be the case, these rumors kinda died off. And yeah, to be honest, I do also have my doubts over this, since the chassis is not being redesigned, and it's going to be similar to the 12 Pro and the 13 Pro, so I do think it's also going to reuse the same material choice, which was stainless steel. And yeah, according to the translation, it seems the source is kinda unsure about this, so yeah, I don't think this is going to be happening with the 14s. We could see it with the 15 instead, since that's supposed to be a massive redesign. Anyways, the source does reiterate the 14 and the 14 Max are going to stick with 60Hz panels, and also are going to retain the A15 chip. And as for the flagship color with the Pros, this is going to be a dark purple that's going to be similar to the shades Sony have used in the past. So yeah, this is quite different from the light purple we've seen in renders. And I guess this makes sense because darker colors are more suited to the prosthetic. And finally, the source also mentions the rear cover glass with the 14 series is going to be thinner than the 13 series. Now, I'm not sure why they're doing this. Maybe it's cheaper, maybe it's Tim trying to maximize his profit margins. I'm not too sure, but there's that. Anyways, those are the details, guys, but tell me your thoughts on these reports in the comments below. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video above on details regarding the M2 iPad Pro, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.